Hi, my name is Nicole Keynote, and I'm a graduate student at Colorado State University. I'm originally from Chicago, and I identify as Native American. I've studied abroad in Australia, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua. One of my most memorable moments as a student at CSU definitely is studying abroad, as well as working at the Native American Cultural Center. It's just that interaction, meeting new people, and maybe people with similar backgrounds as you. And when you're studying abroad, you definitely meet other people who are studying abroad, and you meet other people who are from that country that you go to. I decided to study abroad because one of my supervisors asked me when would I ever have the chance to travel abroad in another country for 6 months, and I thought about it. And once I get out of school, I'm gonna, have a full-time job and not be able to take off time to travel for that long. I officially traveled as a semester abroad through CSU's education abroad program to South Australia. I went to University of South Australia in Adelaide, and it was really amazing. Studying at a university in South Australia was great because I got to meet other people who were locals as well as international students also traveling to South Australia to study. I love traveling to Nicaragua because I went to volunteer in communities that needed veterinary or medical aid. And so I was able to travel abroad and sightsee while also helping people and volunteering. And those were just two great experiences just combined in one. Statistics show that students of color do education abroad at lower rates than other students, particularly white females. And I think that's just because students of color might not be in the position financially or other reasons such as culturally to study abroad. I know for me it was definitely financially, and I was actually in a position where I was able to take out loans, and I know a lot of other students might not be able to take out loans or might not be able to leave home for 6 months. I didn't really have any challenges with the application process through CSU. They were really helpful with credit transfers and giving me background information on the country and any help filling it out for like going to the health clinic to get vaccines. My only concern studying abroad was financially and just having the funding to travel to another country for a couple of months. I overcame the funding for traveling abroad by just taking out a lot of loans for it. I decided it was worth it because, as my friend said, it was just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. One of the challenging experiences that I faced when studying abroad in Australia was that I noticed racism was really prevalent in Australia, which caught me off guard. So I'm used to experiencing microaggressions here in the States, but there it seemed the Australian people were really racist towards the Aboriginal Australians and also racist towards international students from different parts of Asia. And it was just weird to see them kind of be extremely rude and outright racist towards them, and then for them to be nice to me. I would definitely say that was a challenge in studying abroad, was just to see that racism and not be able to do too much about it besides just talk to people about why you shouldn't do that. People in other countries can be mean towards like the Aboriginals there as well. So you definitely see a lot of similarities between Indigenous people in the United States and Indigenous people abroad. Indigenous people are kind of treated almost the same way in a lot of different countries, and it's interesting to see the similarities and differences as you travel, especially as I've traveled to Australia and noticed the relationship between Australians and Aboriginal Australians, and the relationship between maybe in Costa Rica and Nicaragua between the people who identify as Nicos or Ticos, and then the indigenous tribes there as well. When I was in Costa Rica, we had the opportunity to travel to different indigenous tribes there, such as the Brunca, the Bribri, and the Nagobi, and it was interesting talking to them between the similarities between their history and our history, and just being able to share in that like we have similar backgrounds and we're going through similar things in our own country. The most positive experiences I had while traveling abroad was definitely sightseeing, just all the differences that I don't see here in Colorado or Chicago or anywhere in the States. I was able to go to Australia and see all their tourist attractions. I was able to go to the beach in Australia and Nicaragua. I was able to see the rainforest in Costa Rica. There's definitely no rainforest in the United States to see, so it was great to be able to have a chance to see that in Central America. And I would definitely recommend education abroad to other students of color, just because it's an opportunity to see how other people live in other countries and similarities and differences between how you live here in the States. I would say that if you have the opportunity to study abroad or travel abroad, maybe you can't do it for a semester or 6 months. Maybe you can only do it for a week or two. There's definitely opportunities or even service learning opportunities to be able to experience another country and another culture for a couple of weeks. And I would definitely say to do it, because as my friend told me, you're only going to have this opportunity in school to study abroad for this long, or maybe to go to this many places.